The second aspect of that environment for your 7 to 9 month old is going to be the physical environment. Now, the first part of that physical environment is going to be the places where you do life, the physical places. The second aspect of that physical environment are the toys and objects that you use to interact with your little one. And then finally, it's the people. The people are part of that physical environment, the people that interact with your little one on a regular basis. Now, first of all, let's talk about the physical aspect of the places where you do life. Now at this point, because you do have a little explorer on your hand with sticky fingers, it's important to remember that if you haven't already, go ahead and baby-proof your house, because what baby sees, baby wants, and baby's going to be motivated to get. Another aspect of that is if baby's sitting on your lap, and because they now have greater levels of control of their arms and wrists and hands, they're going to try to reach for anything that they can see that looks interesting, which is pretty much anything and everything. They're also going to start to, if they see you eating something, they're going to start to want to eat what it is that you're eating if they haven't already started that already. Another area that we're taking a look at when we're looking at the physical environment are the toys and objects that baby interacts with. Now, when we talk about toys, we want to look at the quality of the toy, not necessarily the quantity of toys, because we can get overwhelmed with a quantity of toys. Looking at objects and toys that are going to help our baby grow and develop, but also maintain a level of motivation and playfulness to them and open-ended play to them as well. So some of my favorite toys are the simplest of toys, are blocks and containers and balls. I like all different kinds of containers, containers that make noise whenever you drop something in, long containers, cylindrical containers, boxes, all different kinds of things like that. A lot of recyclables are a great thing to use with littles of this age, because they can play with them in ways that you never even considered. Blocks are great, usually the kind that are about 1 inch by 1 inch cubes are fantastic. Another great thing to play with during this time are things that roll, balls and cars, different size and shapes of balls and cars, things that make noise, things that are bumpy on the outside. Pullback cars are fun, cars attached to strings, all different kinds of things that move and go, because whatever baby sees moving and going is going to motivate them to move and go and to use their vision to be able to stabilize and reach and grasp. And that's what the stage is all about, is motivating play and playfulness for the purpose of moving and interacting with their environment. So when we talk about objects and toys during this time, that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at quality of toy versus quantity of toy. Too many toys can be very overwhelming to children and to parents, P.S. The final part of our physical environment we're taking a look at is the people that are part of the environment, the people that make up the environment. Understanding that whether or not you are the primary caregiver or not, baby is going to experience some level of separation anxiety during this period of time. And understanding that this is a normal stage of your child's development, that they may actually prefer one caregiver over another, and it's not something that is going to last a lifetime. It's a normal stage of your child's development. And so understanding that as part of their development can kind of turn off that part that can feel a little bit hurt by this. But knowing that your baby is going to compare everybody in the world to the perfection that is you is where your baby is right now. And no one in their eyes can measure up, not even a second caregiver sometimes. And it's just where your sweet little baby is at this point in their development. So I encourage you not to take it personally, but that's where your little one is during this time when you're seeing them experience levels of separation anxiety. So that's the physical environment. When we're talking about the physical environment, we're talking about the places where we do life, the toys and objects within it, and the people that are part of the environment, the physical environment. Next, we're going to dig a little bit deeper and talk about the personal environment. This is when we talk about all the feels. The final aspect of environment that we're taking a look at for your 7 to 9 month old is the personal aspects of the environment, all the feels, how we enter into interaction and relationship with our little one on a daily basis or even a minute by minute basis on some occasions. And remembering at this point, baby is going through lots of changes and lots of development. Although they might be sleeping better at night and their sleeping patterns might have evened out a little bit, as soon as they start to gain higher levels of thinking and motor skill development, development, you're going to see changes in their sleeping patterns, which may affect how they feel during their routines and the time of day that there are demands placed on them. So you might see baby kind of moving through different fields, and they're going to be looking for more security from a trusted caregiver. So you're going to see changes in their ability to be able to manage separation anxiety with a preferred caregiver. And so you're going to see changes in how they're feeling, and they're going to continue to develop more feelings and expand their emotional breadth and depth. But this is all part of gaining greater levels of emotional intelligence for your little one. And so this is such an important part of understanding your little one, of understanding the environment and understanding how routines, time of day, developmental stage affects how they're feeling, which in turn affects how you're feeling as a caregiver. And so I would encourage you to understand that when baby starts to lose sleep or have changes in sleep patterns, take a look at what's going on in their developmental stage, what they're working on. Because just like you, when you have a big project you're working on, whether at work or home or in leisure, in your leisure interests, there might be something that wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning that you're working through in your mind. And baby's no different. When they're working out new speech sounds, you might hear them wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just talking away or shouting. And you might also see them working on some of their motor skills at 5 o'clock in the morning before you're ready to wake up in the morning. So those are things that are going to happen right now for your little one. And you're going to see changes in how they feel and how they respond to different things too. One thing I would encourage during this time is to use a familiar script. Now, a script is a few words that you use repeatedly over time and given the same situation that help give you words when sometimes you feel like you don't have any, and help baby build repetition and understanding and consistency. So one thing that I encourage parents often to do is to use a phrase like mommy's always come back or daddy's always come back. Every time you have to leave baby to go to the grocery store or sometimes even just go to the bathroom. Another thing that you can do is use your voice, because baby can hear you even if they can't see you. And so use your voice. Mommy's in the other room. Mommy's grabbing a dish. Mommy will be right there. And just narrate what it is that you're doing so baby knows that you're not far away, can hear you, and can ease some of that anxiety, especially if you have more of an anxious child. And finally, another suggestion there, if you have more of an anxious child, to consider wearing your baby in a sling or a carrier during the day to help calm their sweet little bodies, because there are some children who tend to be a little bit more anxious than others. And if you find yourself with a little one like that, you want to lean into that space and continue to work with them instead of against them, instead of forcing them to be away from you. You want to lean in to that, to continue to build that bond, to build that trust. And it may be something that might alleviate itself with holding baby in a carrier or a sling to help with managing some of that anxiety. So my friend, this is the environmental aspect of the EAR triangle and getting to know your little one in the 7 to 9 month old age range, paying attention to the environment. And those big 3 aspects, the temporal environment, the physical environment, and the personal environment. So your call to action when we're taking a look at the environment for your 7 to 9 month old is to have a look at your environment. What does it look like? Get down on the floor as if you were your baby and have a look at what baby sees, and making sure that it's a safe place for baby to begin this exploring phase. And then have a look at how all these different areas of the environment, the temporal, the physical, and the personal aspect, how does it affect life with baby and play with baby? So I want you to pay attention to that and reflect on it in your playbook. And I'll see you in our next video where we talk a little bit more about the activity aspect of the EAR triangle. All right, bye for now.